Welcome to Paradigms at paradigms.life, the radio show and podcast that brings you inspiring people with visions of a viable future for life on Earth that includes humans. Hi, I'm Baruch, host of Paradigms. Welcome to the show. We've got a wonderful guest who has an interesting life. She's done a bunch of interesting things, and she's making some wonderful music. And she's sharing some of her story with us, and we'll be listening to some of her music. I think you'll find her surprising, and her energy is very bright, and so is the music. So let's get right to it and meet my guest on this episode of Paradigms. Diane Coll, welcome to Paradigms.
Thank you so much for having me, Baruch. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Same here. It's always really fun to talk with people, but I get to listen to your music, your creative thing, and then talk with you, and that makes it even better. And so I've just been listening to your recent EP, Into the Fire, and your album, Happy Fish. Definitely a lot to talk about because of what these songs say. But before we get to that, I like to always ask, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to music and how you came to writing songs and your story.
Well, thank you. I'll try to keep it as a short story. But I'm originally from Chicago, although I live in Georgia now, around the Atlanta area. But, as a little girl, I was shy, and music was just my language. It was my sacred space. So I've always just been musical and falling asleep with the transistor radio under my pillow, just always feeding my soul with music. And I think I wrote my first song when I was around 11 or 12. No one will hear it. But I've been writing music on and off throughout my life. I was a music therapist for a while. I've been in bands, and I'm a therapist by day, a mental health therapist, and
So am I.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Oh, how cool is that?
That's funny.
It's really interesting to me how therapists are also very musical.
Well, that speaks to the whole nature of healing and communion and what the therapy work is about when it's not about technique, when it's about relationship and really healing.
Yeah, it truly is. It truly is. And, I devoted many years of my life, learning how to become a therapist and just diving headfirst where that's all I did. And the gift of, I guess, the silver lining of the pandemic was I rediscovered songwriting and my love of singing. So ever since, I would say 2020, it's all come back to me in such a beautiful, authentic way. And a lot of healing took place too for me.
Well, your music, there's a few interesting just things to notice. Firstly, you have really mastered creating a very compact, very full space with each song, because they really have an arc, each one, but they're in the form of, 3 to 4.5 minutes. And I always admire the ability to chisel things down into something that essential.
Yeah, I think that takes time, definitely, that art of editing and, like you said, condensing. And I think that comes from me too. I get a restless ear, and sometimes a song after 4 or 5 minutes, I'm done. Just for me, I kind of like to condense it and say more in few words as possible.
I really want to jump to a specific song that I want to ask you about, which is the song Again.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. That's a very special song for me. Yeah.
Well, you referenced something that many of us have talked about for a long time that we know is historical, which is the Great Forgetting.
Yeah.
And right now that seems like, I mean, I listened to it and I was just like, oh, yes. Oh, wow. Right.
Oh, thank you. That song is really special to me. I wrote that very, gosh, I can't even remember. It's sometimes with the pandemic, all the years are a blur, but the seed of that song came from the George Floyd murder. I mean, just the most horrific thing I think any of us could have witnessed, and just being incredibly upset and moved. And it's like, when are we going to get this? When are we going to learn? We are all in this together, and we're all we've got. And that's where the seed of that song started. Yeah.
So what I've been really thinking about and talking with people about, and I think it's obvious, but we don't always reduce it to this, bottom line is this place that humans still go to where fear drives anger to violence.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be the bottom line here.
Yes. It's like this knee-jerk reaction, isn't it? That people get. Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone's hardwired to do it based on what stimulus we get.
Yeah. That survival response, right?
So how do we, not that you're supposed to have the answer, but maybe you will. How do we get people to be more frontal lobe?
Yeah. And, I would even like frontal lobe connected with the heart, right? And it's sort of like, how do we connect that? And, my own experience has been I think there's just a lot of things, being comfortable with the discomfort, allowing feelings to flow through, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to, hit somebody in the face or, call them a horrible name, but I think to some degree we have to accept those feelings, let them flow through, maybe put them into art or, scream into a pillow or whatever you need to do. But for me, it's just like, I just think we need to remember we're all on this planet together. We're not things, we're human beings.
I'm talking with Diane Coll, who has released a couple of records and she's got more coming. We're going to hear music from her first LP and her recent EP. We'll hear some music in just a minute, and then we'll be back with more of our conversation. Okay, we're going to start out with the song that Diane and I were just talking about called Again from her album Happy Fish. This is Paradigms at paradigms.life.
We all return again, we'll have clearer sight. When we all return again, please, no left or right. Don't tell me it's all a game, that the world nap was not for naught. Things will never be tied to what they were. Can't hold on to a flowing river. Truth is we're never the same as 10 seconds ago. That's how we roll. If we don't get it this time, there's another day we'll find. Life changed us before, it is now, and it will again. Work together and pull from the pain. Bring silver linings with me, weave them right in, melding silver to gold, like seeing the sun for the first time glow. If we don't get it this time, there's day we'll find life changed us before. It is now and it will again.
How I
We just heard two songs from Diane Coll's album Happy Fish, Rising Tide, and before that, Again. And if you have never heard about The Great Forgetting, I encourage you to do a little search for it. I think you'll find it to be a very interesting idea. All right, let's get back now to my conversation with Diane Coll. You go to the very personal and the very big picture. And that connection, I think easy to sort of live in more one or the other for folks often. But the reality is we need to be in both the individual and the collective in our awareness and see how that's all connected so that we can make it healthier for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. That's such a lovely way to put that, to have that balance of, it's sort of like, I guess maybe on both sides of it, being in our heads too much, being too much in our personal life or being too much in the philosophical, and then finding that. I just keep going back to the heart for some reason as we're talking.
Well, it's in the middle.
Yeah. And the lungs, so we can express.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle between up here and down here, the whole that root chakra instinctual stuff.
Yes.
That is part of us, that is not to be ignored or vilified or suppressed. But at the same time, it's like, it's always the same answers over and over again. It's balance, it's practice, it's mindfulness, it's extending out of ourself and being aware of within ourselves. So I guess we really do know what to do.
Yeah, it's just a matter of actually doing it. Maybe, turning the TV off, putting the phone down, getting outside, just getting connected.
And then the critical mass piece for the big picture, at some point, I think it's reasonable to believe that more than half the humans on the planet, probably more than 80% of the humans on the planet, really all want pretty much the same stuff, which is pretty peaceful.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's still about how we share power and how we put some in positions of power.
Yeah. Yes. And putting that into perspective. Yeah. Yeah. It's such a tricky balancing act, isn't it, being human?
It really, really is. It really is.
But what a gift. What a gift.
It's a gift. Sometimes I ask myself, can I return it for something else? But but let's get back to your music, because I really enjoyed it. And I can see that it is a light in your life from the way you talk about it.
I'm so happy that comes across. I'm so happy to hear that, and we're just meeting for the first time. So that thank you. That really makes me feel wonderful.
Oh, I'm glad. Well, the music has a brightness to it. And now meeting you and talking with you and seeing you have that brightness in your eyes, it's like you're bringing something very light and joyous in, even while addressing things that are maybe challenging. And
yeah, the way that I write is it will hit me pretty quickly. And I've learned to just get out of the way. And it really, I would say 99% of these songs have just been downloads where I feel something coming, or I just pick up the guitar and it's like, ooh, here it comes, get out of the way. And then I'm sort of piecing together then the message that's coming through. And it's always something that's very personal. It's like there's that something coming from beyond, and then from here in my own experience, it all just seems to blend together. But yeah, I think that's my best summary is I just get out of the way and let it unfold organically. I did so much healing with writing the songs that are on Happy Fish, working through some very painful passages in my life. And there's something about accepting that pain, expressing that pain, whether it's sadness or anger. And it's like, here it comes, it's coming out, and now it's through. I've worked it through.
And it's outside of you in a way now.
Yeah.
I am a really horrible songwriter and guitar player, like really bad. I enjoy it when I do it but it's nothing, and I recognize in what you're saying, when I try to write songs, I'm trying to write a song and I am in the way.
I see. Yeah. It takes a while. Yeah. Is that now you say you're horrible, but I bet you're not.
Oh no, it's nothing great. But I'm also a body worker. When I'm doing body work with people, I get out of the way. And then what happens, frankly, is extraordinary.
Yes.
But it's not me.
Right.
So I know exactly what you're talking about. So what I'm getting at is, as people are listening to our conversation, there are some places where we're better at doing that than other places.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know as a therapist, it took me years to get out of the way. So I can definitely relate in that regard, having the plan, having the goals, having the theory. And then it was like one day, it's like, you just got to just know.
Right. You let that all go.
Yeah.
Really enjoying my conversation with Diane Coll. We're going to hear some more music now from her album Happy Fish, and then we'll be back to talk some more. The music is so uplifting, even if it's about some things that are serious. So we're going to hear a song now called Namastained.
Stained in inside, can't see through wine tumbled eyes, seeing red when others are blue, 'cause it takes the attention off of you. Namastained, self-denied, and you won't look inside, 'cause if you do, there'd be some work to do. But then you could make a martyr of yourself too. Stained, you can't hide. I'm not buying your chill vibe. I can see the vampire in you, and you've a sting of a scorpion too. I wish I had more compassion for you, but all bets are off when you think you can suck some life out of me. Oh, energy vampire, come on and underestimate me. Come on. lost, I've lost, I've lost, and so it goes. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, and so it goes. No one knows, heaven knows, who knows, and so it goes. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, and so it goes. Heart wonders why are there empty pages. I've seen it fall away in hands of the bleeding in the sea sees me, so no one can see that fool she goes. Heart wonders why are there empty pages. I've seen it fall away, even in hands of the courageous.
That one's called So It Goes by Diane Coll from her album Happy Fish. And before that, from the same record, Namastained. And now here's the next part of my conversation with Diane Coll. So you just released this EP, Into the Fire. It's 4 songs that, well, they're very personal. I can really relate to them. I like them a lot. But tell me about this little song cycle.
I picked up a ukulele and I didn't know how to play it. But it's fun to pick up an instrument and just sort of mess around. And the first song I ever wrote on the ukulele was I Get So Tired. And I literally just told myself that one day. I was like, God, I'm getting so tired of all the, So I just was playing what to me sounded good. And then, the other songs then followed. So in a way, it was really fun just to pick up an instrument. I didn't know the chords, but I knew what sounded good to my ear. So yeah, it started with I Get So Tired. And again, just that message of, let's just stop demonizing each other here and probably have more in common than we do different. And yes, there are some major issues that we need to look at, but I think, to just fight with somebody is not going to do it. And I just was feeling so strongly about that, in the political climate. And then, I have some personal songs there about really just setting a boundary once and for all with somebody, which has always been a challenge in my life, setting boundaries.
Yeah.
So writing and singing that song was very empowering for me. And I know then Summer in a Bottle is really a tribute to a dear friend of mine that I've met the first day of high school. And just catching up with her over a bottle of wine. And to me, that's just those very simple and most joyful moments you can have with a friend is you haven't seen each other in a while and then you sort of put each other in each other's world. And then Into the Fire, I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd. Yeah, I figured.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I was so happy I got a reference. Gandalf is my favorite. It just in that whole just story and all of those themes, it's always been Gandalf, and I was so happy. I got him in a song, and I got to imitate him too, so that was fun.
I wondered if that was a clip from the film, and
oh no, that was me.
did you have to pay copyrights? And so then I thought, no, I bet you did it, but that's your voice. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
You got to embody
fun.
Gandalf for that
Oh
moment.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's very empowering. I've told people just say that. Just roar that. You're gonna feel great when you're done.
It's like the old Gestalt, get off my back exercise.
Yeah. Right. I kind of loosely based it on, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but it's also just sort of watching somebody just make the same mistakes over and over and over again. It's like, ooh, there you go again. Ooh, oh. But it's all about that pull to power and control that humans can have. And
Until you say no.
right. Exactly. You shall not pass. Right?
I love it. I really enjoy it when people bring mythology, and that is certainly part of our modern mythology,
Yeah.
into other art forms, because it gives people other ways to relate to these archetypes, these presences in our world.
Yeah, it can really lead to a lot of self-reflection. Yeah, through a character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want someone to write a song based on the C.S. Lewis book, Till We Have Faces.
Ooh, oh, tell me about that. I don't know that.
He is retelling the Psyche Aerosmith through the personality of the older sister of Psyche as portrayed through the personality of his own wife, Joy.
Wow.
I mean, it's my desert island book. It is truly a great book, and you'll read it, and you won't be able to put it down. You'll read it in 2 hours. But it's called Till We Have Faces, and it is a really great book. And it just occurs to me that someone could write an amazing song.
Maybe it's you.
What a thought. Okay, maybe I'll work on that. I did once wake up in the night with a long Lilith poem that just came into my head. That was like decades ago, though, so it can happen.
Yeah. Were you able to capture it and write it down?
I did. I got up and I wrote it down, and I did then craft it a little bit over time, but yeah.
Yeah, capturing those downloads when they happen, right?
Diane is one brave person, in my opinion, to have put herself out in the world in these ways, with comedy and with music. Very vulnerable kind of ways to share your creativity. We're going to hear a bunch of music now. We're going to hear some of the EP, which is called Into the Fire, and another track from Happy Fish. And then we'll be back with the final part of my conversation with Diane Coll. So let's start out with the first track on the EP, I Get So Tired. Diane Coll on Paradigms. You're listening to Paradigms at paradigms.life.
Beliefs can be scary when they make us blind, denying what's before our eyes. Tell me, will you see me if we look eye to eye? We're all we've got in this life. I get so tired. I get so tired. Take all those facts and you twist them real tight, denying what's before your eyes, feeding that fire so you see your way and I see mine. It gives no license to be unkind. I get so tired. gaze at the moon tonight. Feeding that fire, you stoke those flames when all we need is candlelight. Can't we just give it a rest tonight? I get so tired, I get so tired. There we go. We got summer in a bottle. What's mine is yours. Weather's perfect to open these cabin doors. And tell me of those times you were flying blind. I wasn't there, but it gets clearer one sip at a time. We got summer in a bottle. What's yours is mine. Weather's perfect, but it's not most times. And it's just like my life. And you listen so kind. You're here, but now it's like you were there. One sip at a time. We got summer in a bottle. It's yours and mine. Don't matter how long it's been, we pick up just fine. So let's take our time, because we've got more wine. Old friends are never strangers, defying time. Cheers, pal of mine. There you go, into the fire, creating your funeral pyre. It's just those lights that shine so bright. You're hypnotized, blind in your third eye. 'Cause there you go, into the fire, into the fire. Gandalf shouts, you shall not pass. But you can't help showing your ass. You sense some class in that shiny brass. Don't grab that ring, it's not what you may dream. But there you go, into the fire, into the fire. again and again. There you go into the fire, creating your funeral pyre. It's just those lights, they shine so bright. You're hypnotized, and I am mystified, 'cause there you go into the fire. Paradise remains with me, though you fled like a thief in the night. Left in your hands is the weight you've carried all along. It's a mark well defined, meant for your soul, not mine. Ooh. Betrays on a dime, so why should I trust yours with mine? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Your ego's blind is yours, not mine. Save those carnival rides, because it's time to say goodbye. Ooh, ooh,
We just heard Ghost Song from the album Happy Fish by Diane Coll, and before that we heard Into the Fire, the title track from her new EP, Summer, and we started out with I Get So Tired. And now here's the final part of my conversation with Diane Coll. So do you play out?
I do. It's been really great. Over the pandemic, everybody was doing live streams, and including me. And it really was great practice. At first it was really petrifying, but then it was really just a great way just to get into a flow and getting into a flow with the people that are watching. And yeah, in fact, and now just getting out and playing live, I've had some wonderful opportunities. I just played a big showcase in Woodstock, Georgia, at a place called Mad Life Studios. And, it's invite only, sharing the stage with 5 other songwriters. And it was just such a powerful experience, because it's spotlights and you've got, it was, I've had some wonderful opportunities in the Charlotte, North Carolina. That community is incredible, and how they really focus on the songwriting itself. It's not about being a star. It's not about being flashy. It's about the craft of songwriting. And I've met some wonderful new friends, done a lot of showcases there, and we'll be doing more at the end of this month in October. And yeah, it's nice that the world has opened up again. It's nice to play in front of faces.
And tell me about that. What's it like for you to relate with a room full of people like that?
I love it. I'm somebody who was very shy. When I used to play, like when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was miserable. I mean, I was playing. I was just like, just get through this, because I was still very, it was hard to let the audience in. But I did stand-up comedy for a while. 2018 till about 2021 was when I was really active with it. And that really helped me, because there's nothing as petrifying as
man,
microphone, and you have to make people laugh. And there's something about that. It just broke the ice. So now when I get in front of people, it's like, hey, yeah, I can feel the energy exchange, and it's beautiful.
So your life has really, one of the things your life has been is a journey of coming out.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a late bloomer for sure.
Yeah, but you're really blooming. Stand-up comedy, these records, it's just wonderful. And that's inspiring. People who listen to the show regularly are probably sick of me saying these kinds of things, but so many people don't give themselves permission to express themselves.
Yes. You really do have to give yourself permission. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's such a powerful thing to do. And anybody who's watching or listening, just do one little thing, and just plant that seed.
Yep.
And you won't be able to go back.
That's the thing. No, it's really great. I love what you're embodying and how you're bringing it on your journey with you and sharing it with us. It's very cool.
Oh, thank you. It's a joy to share it. It really is.
Since you get these downloads and these records now exist, I imagine there's still more downloads. You're still writing more stuff. There's more material coming.
There is. Yeah. I'm almost done with my second full-length album. It officially will be out January 16th. It'll be called Old Ghosts. And myself and a friend, fellow musician, producer, Daniel Groover, who is just such a great guy. He's so much fun to work with. We're about ready to enter the mixing phase. Yeah, then I've got a whole other bank of songs that will be a third full album. So it's sort of like, okay, I've got to hold these here while I finish these here.
Right.
I can't stop writing. It's, I didn't write for a number of years, so now it's all just.
And it is interesting to be producing this while you're writing this.
It's weird. Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah. Only because these songs don't necessarily feel old to me, but these are just really fresh and I'm excited about them. But Old Ghost, the theme behind it is a deeper healing. As a fellow therapist, I know you know this and encourage this. When we heal, there's great joy, but it also gives space for maybe some of the deeper stuff that we've got to revisit. And then there's even greater joy. And so that's what this album is revolving around, looking at those old ghosts, and there's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah. And as we unpack it, actually, it lightens everything.
It does.
That's enlightenment.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Wow. This is awesome. Well, we'll have to talk again when the Old Ghosts come out, because
Oh, I would love that.
I'll be really interested to have a conversation about it after I listen to it.
Oh, thank you. I would love that. Yeah.
All right. Diane, this is just great. I love what you're doing, your music. It's wonderful to connect with you. And I'm so glad I started doing these interviews using Zoom, even though it's a radio show. At least I get to have that interesting form of electronic eye contact.
I agree. Yeah, I used to think it was kind of odd doing Zoom calls, but no, that energy is still being exchanged. Yeah.
It actually works, which speaks to how capable we humans are of connecting with each other across time and space.
Yes.
We really can eventually all feel at one with each other. It is a truly possible thing.
Yes, I agree. I completely agree. And this has been wonderful to speak with you.
I'm glad. Thank you so much. Well, be well and keep making the music.
I will. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do.
Diane Coll, so great to talk with you, to meet a fellow traveler on the path of this work in the world, bringing healing through psychological work, but also through music and comedy. These are all part of the same thing. I mean, obviously they're part of Diane's life, the trajectory of her life, her story, but for humanity, these are really some of the things that we do that allow us to heal our wounds and move forward with our lives, to deal with our feelings. And there's so many ways to do it. Laughter as healing, and music, obviously. If you'd like to know more about Diane, check out her Bandcamp site. It's Diane Coll, DianeColl.bandcamp.com. Check out her new EP, Into the Fire, and her album, Happy Fish. And the new album's coming out next year, and another one after that. So we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on Diane Coll and talking with her again. Diane, thank you so much for the conversation, the music, and what you're putting into the world. Good stuff. And if you enjoyed this episode of Paradigms, I hope you'll check out our website, paradigms.life, where all 14 years worth of Paradigms episodes are archived. And there's some other stuff there, too, that I think you'll find interesting. Some links also to support people who have suffered from the fires in Maui and people recovering from the floods in Vermont. All right, we're going to close out the show with another track from Diane Coll's album, Happy Fish. It's called Far Away. And let's let the word for the week be light. Let's feel the quality not only of light that we see with our eyes, but light that we can feel emotionally, light that we can bring to situations. We shine a light on things to show what's true. We lighten up and enlighten ourselves when we unburden ourselves from pain and suffering. So this week's word is light. Let's be light. All right. Baruch signing off for this episode of Paradigms. We'll be back next time with more inspiring people. Until then, let's go forth and be light and be well. See you next time.
I'll never know what's in your mind. It's really no business of mine. Yet I can read between the lines. Time for this soul now to take flight. I have learned, now I say goodbye. So Argentina, please don't cry. I'm shedding my skins one at a time. Souls on the ground right here, I'm fine. I'm far away from all the karmic ties that bind. I'm gonna get it right this time. It's really no business of mine. I'm shedding my skins one at a time, ready to floor it now and drive far away, far away. Groucho, now you can bet your life I am getting it right this time.
You've been listening to Paradigms at paradigms.life.